You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Michael and Steve.
So we have a little bit of background and history for the lake. As you know, the Bianco area is very old. It was created by the volcanic eruption. It's about 3.8 million years ago. We have the bottom is going to be basalt layering, and the lake itself about 760,000 years old, and it used to be a lot larger. So the whole area that we were in when we visited Mono Lake, so between all the different mountains, that was all underwater. So it used to be quite a bit larger than what it was. And then another feature by the lake is the amount of salt in it. Because of the salt, the water is very alkaline. Also about the lake, it is called a terminal lake, which means you have some different rivers that feed into it, but there's nothing that lets the water out. So it's kind of like the last stop in line in terms of water. And there's about 280 million tons of dissolved salts, and it's a very, very salty lake. And also what makes it special are the two towers. So this is kind of what we learned on the field trip, but you have your underground springs have fresh water with a lot of dissolved minerals, and when that meets the salty water, you form calcium carbonate, and it kind of like naturally forms in these little tower formations. And as the water level goes down, we have more and more towers are exposed. At one time, the towers were over 200 feet tall. Right now, the max is about 13 feet or so. And you can find some good fossils in the calcium carbonate. And you also have some calcium carbonate from flying cocoons. That also adds to the towers as well.
All right, so this is before the constructions of the aqueducts. This is when the lakes were much more higher. These are some of the pictures I could find online or steal from other websites. And yeah, just again, you can see the life around it, some of the grass, and just the overall how it looked, and compared to how we looked at it now, where it's just kind of barren. We just see just the Tufa Towers, and yeah. So, and this is now when they started doing the construction. So this was like some of the water that was flowing to Los Angeles. This is what dried up the Owens Lake. And this is also the constructions of the pipelines that they were doing. I had a third picture on there. I think one of the other groups had it was, I guess they had horses pulling some of the materials and all the debris that they're clearing out to make room for the pipelines.
Yeah, and then also like you can see in this picture, like you have some people that are standing on top of it. So this is a big pipeline. It would be probably like at least like, what was it, like 10 feet or so tall, I would imagine. But yeah, so that just kind of shows you the big scale. I think that, is this the first one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the early 1900s. Yeah, that's the good one.
And this is, and then this is kind of like going into the restoration of the creeks and rivers. Like Rush Creek. Rush Creek doesn't flow directly into Mono Lake. What it does, there's a branch of water that goes from Rush Creek to this little branch, and then feeds into Mono Lake. And a lot of this, again, what was the process of the restoration was when they built the aqueducts, these creeks all pretty much dried up and then became overgrown with other plants. So a lot of it had to be cleared and to reestablish this flow of water. And yeah, that's just what some of the pictures were that I found.
And then so also to go back to the different salt levels, if you want to compare it to the average, compared to the average for the oceans. So you have average ocean is about 31 grams per a single liter. Before it was, so before the water was taken, it was about 50 grams per liter. At the lowest level of the lake, which was in January of 1982, it had nearly doubled to so almost 100 grams. So that's pretty major. And we had a big major, I know they went back and tested it in 2002. It went back down to 78. And so the goal is to get it down to 69 grams. So it's still a little bit more salty than what it originally was, but you have to compensate because they are taking water from the county of Los Angeles. And then also that is a closed system, and so when the water evaporates, it leaves behind the salt. So it just will naturally be salty because of that.
So in Mono Lake, there's really no fish. The only thing that lives there are the brine shrimp and the alkaline flies. And these are like some of the key species that again migratory birds stop and feed on. Again, without this, pretty much there would be no life. And there's over 200 million water birds out there, 35 species. Some of the common ones that we know because of our location is the California gull and snowy plovers. I know Dakota went on some of the other birds, but we didn't really dig that far into it. Just some of the stuff that we are used to seeing and used to hearing about. And so we got a picture of the snowy plovers, and then we also got, I know everyone's seen this picture of the California gulls and how they run through the flies and try to eat as much as they can. Snowy plovers are around 400 is what some of the people were counting, and it makes up like 10% of California's populations that go there. And yeah, California gulls, that's Mono Lake's the second largest nesting population behind Great Salt Lake.
It's a very, very important for the gulls. And it might be a little hard to see from the back, but you can see all these little black dots, and so those are the actual flies. So flies are everywhere there, especially during the summer. They're just everywhere. And that's about it. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Questions?
Yes.
So is Mono Lake a critical habitat for snowy plovers?
Yes, for sure, because that has about that's about like 1/10 of all the birds in California live there. So it's very, very important.
When we were going on the loop around June Lake, so we couldn't go the whole loop because it was close to the snow, but the first lake that you hit is June. There may be a second lake in there, the lake that you could see with a little bit of open water from the lift. It didn't register until just now. That's Gull Lake. And I was, oh, that's why it's called Gull Lake. Other questions? Thanks, guys.